Well, hello, everyone. I'm here with my friend Cindy Schwarz from Chicago, USA. She is the CEO of EarsUp Leadership, and she and I are collaborating for a series of workshops here in Sydney based on Dare to Lead, Brené Brown's work. So Cindy is a certified Dare to Lead facilitator, and I can't wait for her to come and for us to do this series together. There'll be 4 workshops, and we're going to be speaking today about Rising Strong as the last one. Both Cindy and I are also equine assisted learning facilitators, and that's actually how we met. So we just see this wonderful synergy between the philosophies of Brené Brown and working with the horses in this space of leadership. There's so many common kind of themes that run through both philosophies. And what we find is the horses actually kind of bring to life the philosophies that you read about in any of Brené's book. See, I do love it. All the books I have. And I've read every one too. And I used to cheat at school, not read all the books and still do my essays. I've read every one of these and I love them. So we're going to ask Cindy to just let us know what Learning to Rise is all about.
Great, thank you. This is one of my favorite topics because this is about learning how to come back from a failure. So the idea is if you have courage, if you are being brave, it's not if we will fail, it's when we will fail, right? And that word fail, I use it specifically because it's a tough word, right? It can be fall, it can be make a mistake, like all of those same things. When things don't go as we intended for them to go, right? And so this is talking about how to come back from those things. Like Brené even talks about in her organization, part of the orientation is learning to rise. Like they teach you how to come back from a failure. Because if you're being innovative, if you're pushing the envelope, if you're being vulnerable, it will happen. And one of the main reasons why I love doing this with horses is because they want you to succeed. Like they do in so many ways. So when something doesn't go right, they don't give up on you, right? They stay with you, they give you feedback. And the minute you get it right, they let you know and celebrate it. And it just, you can feel it. You just feel good about it, right? And then as a group, we can break down, what did you do? What happened? How can you recreate that type of thing? So all of them are amazing. All of the different skills and tools are heightened when we bring the horses into it. But this is one that I really like because horses just want you to succeed. And we don't always get that in our workplaces, knowing that everybody has our back.
That's true. And that's what we say too, don't we? That it's a really safe space to explore those kind of capabilities. And I think you're right. It's not if, it's when. And so this teaches us so much about, I know it's a buzzword, but so true, resilience. You've got to be resilient.
Yes.
In the world. Everyone does.
Yeah.
No one's life goes according to plan. It'd be boring if it did, I reckon.
Right.
And I think
we've talked about the horses teach us that, right?
Yeah. And I mean, they're always dealing with uncertainty. And so they're not always worried about it. They have these capabilities that, you know, as you said, as within our work, we're able to help our clients interpret what they're saying. Well, we allow the client to interpret, don't we? But we point out, oh, that was interesting what the horse did there. What do you think it could mean? He was coming along nicely with your team there, following you, and suddenly he stopped. What has changed there? And then they go, oh, I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing. You know, they pick up on that sudden shift of, oh, I'm still moving forward, but I'm not sure I should be. They pick up on that.
I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing, all that stuff. Yeah. I can't believe they're following me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So
one of the things Brené brings up a lot is the idea of the story that we're telling ourselves.
Yeah.
Because if you're anything like me, the minute things don't go right, like what's the tape we play in our heads? Like, I'm not doing it right, you know? And the horses don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not good enough. Yeah. I'm not whatever enough. The horses don't do that. They're like, this didn't work. Let's readjust.
Yep, exactly.
Right? So they live in the present moment and not in the past and wallow in what didn't go right. They look forward to what do we need to do to make it right.
Exactly.
And so they bring a lot of great lessons and help us, because we're the authors of our stories.
Yep. And that, but they
So
don't have really anxiety about the future. So it's a beautiful lesson. You're right. Exactly. They live
yes,
in the present. So they help us kind of
yeah,
take advantage of that, what's immediately there in front of us, how we're feeling, what the team's doing. They highlight all those sort of things. So they, as you said, they're not wallowing in the past, regretting something that happened. They move on in that way. And they're equally not, anxious about what is to come. They kind of, that, they face it and deal with it. So they're beautiful lessons in aligning too, isn't it? It's like, so yes, we do need to get from A to B, and our original plan was a straight line, but things happen along the way, so we have to do that.
yeah,
It's not like, oh God, now I can't do anything. It's just adjust.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a fundamental belief that they can succeed.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't ever think that they can't. And humans, learning to rise is all about believing in your ability to succeed. And so the story that we're telling ourselves, and get out of our own way and make it happen.
Yep, I love that.
So that's what Rising Strong and Learning to Rise, same tool, same skill set. That's what that one's all about. Is when we put ourselves out there, we're inevitably going to trip or fall or fail, whatever is the word that you use, and we're going to be able to come back from it.
Yeah, I love
the horses are going to show us how.
I love that. That is just so important. And I think so many people are so reluctant to take any risks and all that sort of thing, because it's comfort. You get to a spot of comfort, but in the end, it's not, if you're not kind of progressing, if you're stalling or procrastinating or anything, it becomes uncomfortable then. And the only way forward is to take that leap of faith, that risk. And there is, of course, that fear of, or that risk of some sort of failure, as you said, whatever word you want to use for that. It's a definite risk, and it's a when, not an if, and it might be big and it might be small, but coping with that, does help, build us up and help us deal with what's to come, no matter what that is.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can see in our conversation how all 4 tools weave in, right? With Learning to Rise is vulnerability, right? Is trusting yourself to be able to rise and be able to overcome, and really connecting with your values as part of the energy, the strength to accomplish what you're trying to do. So although each class is standalone, they all tie beautifully together, because they're 4 skill sets.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's exactly what we're telling people there. They can come to one and they'll get a lot out of one day, or they come to 2, 3, 4, whatever that looks like.
Whatever.
And they will not be, they're standalone in that you'll get something out of the one day, but equally you'll get something more to build on with others as well.
The horses will be sure and tie it all together for us. Like they don't know which class it is. they're just there.
That's so true. And what a great point that is as well. They're just responding to the stimulus that they're receiving from us on that very day, and they don't know it's there as such. And it's all up to us, really.
Yeah. So looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to seeing you in person again, and I can't wait until you arrive here in Sydney, and we can start this lovely collaboration in person.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, thanks, Cindy.
Take care.